Hello everyone, welcome back to another StarCraft 2 cast. I'm going to be your caster today, Green Sue, and we're going to be looking at a game from Liquid.Taeja, spawning in the bottom right of Newkirck Station. And he will be playing against Jimaholic. No, not Jimaholic, he is actually FXOdesRo, there he is, Desro, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right, Desrao, may also be that. So hey, he just released a replay pack on Team Liquid, and I figured I'd take a look at some of the games. I got this one, some other ones from, Idra before he was canned, and a couple other ones I could line up soon enough as well. On Newkirk, for PvP, I think it'll be really interesting. I'm expecting a longer game, as the bases are so far apart that it's very likely to see something along that line. See both players being very cordial as they greet each other with these fine little words in English. It's nice of them enough to type in as well, understand what they're saying. Need practice versus Korean, qualified WCS. You guys. Yeah, a lot of players are, yeah, there's the invasion. That's pretty much, the best way to describe it, how the Koreans have basically been coming over, into the other regions, and, well, they didn't really destroy in Europe. Only 2 of them made it through. On the contrary, only 2 Americans made it through in the North American WCS qualifiers, all the way, at least into the round 16. Everyone else was Korean, and then there was also Sen. I think, no, Snoop made it through as well, so a Norwegian. We do have a European. That's silly enough, I guess, though. I said PvP, didn't I, earlier? I saw Terran. I saw Terran, and I read, and I said Protoss like a number of times, haven't I? I'm ridiculous. Just ridiculous. TVP, that's very different than a PvP on Newkirk Station. I'll expect, yeah, actually, no, going Marine before Reaper, not actually opt in for that Reaper build to go and get the scout information. So he will actually be from this, I like to call it a wing style. He's coming out with actually 2 Marines off the bat, too. Not even, he's just lining up his orbital command, not even looking to line up an expansion. It looks like be going off some very early, 1 Rax play. And along with gas, looks like he will, yep, that's Tech Lab now, or Reactor, excuse me. I know what I'm talking about, don't worry about me. Worry about yourselves, worry about yourselves. Anyway, and contrary to the build of Taeja, Jimaholic or Desro will actually be taking his own expansion. It's really hard to call people by their actual names when they refuse to put it up there and they put these, so I end up calling them all the time. Looks like I will be eating my own words, as Taeja is going for actually his 1 Rax FV, opted not to do a large aggressive move. So we will actually be having very passive play from each of them, as they will be sitting down and building up their economies. Newkirck is now out and will chase the SCV away. You know, some more extra sound information for him at this point. He will be forced to go off what he's seen. What he's seen has led him to believe that a factory will be a good idea. We'll be seeing those drops soon, I believe. Wouldn't mind barracks play, very nice combination. May also be going for those Hellbats to go and pick apart that mineral line while it's not looking. And if I would expect that from Taeja, as he is a Korean, pulling out those new styly moves with his new units and new abilities. So hey, always try and make a big adjustment of it. Newkirck is going to come in here for scouting. Marines are slightly out of position for it, not exactly ready to catch it, so they may not be able to take it out. Newkirck actually may, nope, it will not fly away. It will catch the factory. It does see the reactor on, and we do see the Hellions come out of it. And in response to seeing only what he has seen, he has not seen the forge, he has not seen robotics facility. So we will be Taeja will be taking that passive route even further and just sitting back with a bunker, really content to sit back, gas up, mine up, macro up, whatever you want to describe it as, and just absolutely not even going for a Reaper, just going straight Marines, keeping it on, and along with some Hellions. 2 will be popping soon, and he may go and try and do some harassment that I would expect it out of him. It is rather undefended as of now. The forge is only just finished in there, no cannons up. Only things really, he can't get into the main base, but he can scoot around and see what damage he can do in a natural, and he may actually be able to bait these stalkers out enough if he's clever enough. Taeja is a very clever player. Won his own number of championships in his time, so never count him out for something. 1 cannon is not finishing, so these Hellions will have a slightly harder time competed than they necessarily would have. We will see them getting up into there now, taking a long round. I really like how the Hellion harassment is now moved over to Protoss, not so much as Zerg. It normally was only Zerg you would see Hellion harass these against, and sometimes against the Terran. And immediately he caught that Hellion harassment out, and he did immediately move the probes out. And he actually will he'll get a couple there. He'll get a couple of probes. Don't get me wrong, he's doing some pretty decent damage here, but he is losing all his Hellions right now. 2 have gone down, 3 have gone down. He's still not made it away with the last one. The range on that is incredible. It's just about the size of a siege tank. Actually, I want to say it's almost bigger. It has to be bigger, I swear. Let's see. He only managed to kill a couple of workers there. Only about 7 have been killed for him. On contrary, he lost 4 of his Hellions, so it's not very even trade. He tried to make it work out, but the new the photon overcharge was just a little too much for him to handle. See, Observer is now in, seeing everything, does see a third command center going down. He will know he's taking a third, and actually may even decide to be more aggressive, throw down some extra gateways. He only has 2 down right now, so Twilight Council probably be pulling out that blink soon enough. Go for that aggressive movement. Actually no, take straight up to a Dark Shrine instead. Just as nice a reaction. He does now see here. His player, the opponent, is now going for a very economic build. It is a bit exposed because of it. Only has a couple of units out to defend. Is adding on a lot of factories, so he will have lots and lots of Hellions. Again, Hellions being cleaned up rather easily, not actually doing too much damage. Yeah, only killing a couple of more probes really, so not actually the most effective use of Hellions as of yet. So he may want to back off after now. Try and build up, and he's really going to need a defense soon enough. He's getting a couple tanks out, getting Hellbats out. Will be nice to deal with these Dark Templar, but they are going to probably get off some initial damage as he will not see them coming, so it will be a little difficult for him to exactly get those defensives in place, as he is a little behind at this point. I know the score show him he's ahead, but he has lost a bit more minerals in his place. Currently 49 to 46 workers down. He has been keeping it down just slightly, and mules are always helpful in that respect as well. His army actually is pulling ahead too. He's actually making the best of these poor trades, trying to just really defend. He's lost about 8 Hellions, salvaging bunkers, throwing down a forward wall actually, so he has some inkling. Was that Dark Shrine cancelled? I don't think it was. Was it up here? No, it wasn't. For a second I thought it was cancelled. Dark Templar have yet to be warped in. Dark Shrine is complete now, and instead TvZ decides to wall himself in at his front while attempting to establish a third base. TvZ actually have a very good lead on him, and the Dark Templar aren't actually out in there. Catches the tank off guard, does manage to catch 1 Dark Templar with a slash damage, and it looks like he's going to try and get another one. Yes, he does trap it again in the corner. Very clever actually, trapping it in an area and then target firing his own buildings to do the splash damage onto it. There's another one. I heard it. Yep, it is down here. There's actually one as well. Yep, he was forced to clear his mineral line. Very effective use of these Dark Templar here. Taking a couple there. I forced all the workers out, and now TvZ is bringing all of his army up into there. We'll go and get the Mothership Core, not the Mothership Core, the warp system where they were warped in from. And it's still getting very annoying. He's gonna box it in again though. Oh no, it's not exactly through yet. Nope, there it is now. Will be taken down, as is the warp prism. So now it's TvZro's turn to feel behind and feel a little on the back foot. TvZ did lose a bit of supply that he will be supply box for the next 20 seconds, so it's actually a small amount of time for him to try and get someone try and make a really fast transition, possibly to air, as this army is very vulnerable to air at this point with no real support to go for. There's a couple of Marines. Actually is going for his Colossus though, along with a Templar Archives. So I don't really find this to be the best thing he could go right now. He is continuing to be pumping out observers. No, actually, Immortal, excuse me, I spoke too soon. I have it right in front of me, and I can still get it wrong. Look how fantastic I am. Yeah, the Immortal, yes, will do very well against this mech army. But if it's going to be the point if they can get close to this point. He did opt for an orbital command, and not a planetary fortress at his third. So he will be a slightly undefended, but in response, he'll just throw down 2 command centers there and see if he can build a great wall of command centers. Dark Templar now moving again. Will actually catch some things off guard to take out 1 Hellbat. Possibly 1 more. He's going to chase around. Will mine does go off? No, it does not go off. Oh, it's terrible. Would have been such a good hit. Take out Dark Templar with 1. Too bad though. Both are now burrowed at the watchtower though, so no Protoss will be able to get there for the next minute or so. Engaging there. Dark Templar 1, 2, and 3 hits on a Hellbat. Good to know for later, I suppose. And trying to find those Dark Templars, see if he can catch them off, but he's not having any such luck right now. Warping it in more Immortals, and even getting that gravitic drive for his what are they called? There they called the observers. That's actually a pretty good ability in my opinion, as if you don't want to catch those observers. You don't want to have your observers caught out in the middle of a fight or in the middle of the game when you really need that intel. It can really put a damper on you if it does happen. And the big Hellbat Siege Take army that's being caught around will now fly both his command centers away. 1 to his 4th base location and 1 to a 5th. Is establishing a very heavy economic lead for himself. He's been ahead pretty much the entire game, not really even falling behind while he was losing. So it's like, oh, and there's the Dark Templar down by the Widow Mine. Looks like he is pretty much pulling away from the Dark Templar play, just using up the last ones he had. Is moving into Archon Immortal though, and actually no Colossus, even though he had tech out for it. I suppose he just wanted it for the drive boost for his Warp Prism. Interesting. And is now just making a large transition into Super Gateway play because, hey, why not? TvZ is deciding to bunker down by his 3rd base. Will have a very good line of defense between all the way from his natural to his 4th. There's not really any way he's getting up there except through air, but that's blocked off too by missile turrets. So it will actually be very difficult for him to get around. He may be able to do a lot of damage to this 4th base, 5th base location, excuse me. Well, these are both 4th base locations, so calling them either 4th is not wrong. Is morphed into a planetary fortress, but a piloting has been warped in down here, and we'll be quickly taking care of. But instead, in response, he would just throw down a number of zealots to actually chase away and actually be able to keep that forward pylon. That's actually a really nice win for him, to be able to save that forward pylon. Hellbats are roasting these zealots alive, but the zealots are very tanky right now. He will lead them to tank fire though, and slowly be able to take them out. Hellbats are now being taken out, 4 tanks being also moved. So the Raven's down to mix as well. That's a very nice air transition. Easy to throw down those Hunter Seeker missiles. Really do all that slash damage that the tanks can't do. Was a bit of a pincer movement that he did manage to move in and hit him from both sides. And now TvZ is going to move in and really assault and start take down every SCV here. That is a lot of good kills for him. He's moving forward to lift off his 3rd and fly away. Archon's looking to hit it down, but this 3rd base is now toast. 1 lone barracks floats along, seeing what it can accomplish. Not much. And that TvZ presses his advantage. Move up into the main of TvZ. More Hellbats on the ground, actually hitting these Immortals and actually doing a lot of damage to them as they don't do extra damage to them. So it is actually a pretty good engagement for these guys here. And TvZ will GG out of that, and TvZ will take this game against TvZ. That was actually really good play. That was a really nice engagement there. It's really nice to show that you can be behind a lot of the game, and the other player can just generally be doing better than you. But one really well-timed engagement, like just catching someone off guard, can really turn the tide's game in a second. He immediately just went and just decimated the entire army of TvZ, and then was able to just shove forward and like slice his way all the way up into the main. And that was just GG for TvZ. As soon as he saw he couldn't hold that army back at the ramp into his natural, and he didn't have any kind of what's it called, army. Yeah, he didn't have an army. That's an important thing to really defend. He just saw that, damn, I did not make the right decisions there. He did try and establish all his bases. He was ahead for a lot of the game economically, but what happened was this battle here, I actually wanted to see if I can pull back to it. I think I might have actually been a little too far. Yeah, a little too far. Let's pull forward once again. Almost there. Let's actually go right. Yeah, it would have been like a lot farther forward. There's the army for Jimaholic. TvZ. Gonna speed it up a little bit so we can get over there. Alright. 8 times speed. Pause. Alright. He goes in here and actually has a large number of tanks here. Large number of tanks. I thought I saw something over there, but I was mistaken. Goes in with all his Hellbats. A really bad idea was separating them. In the first place, he had an idea that the army, he knew the army was right there, so he should have immediately pulled back there. He saw once his elves coming that he was, so good for him there. Actually gonna slow it down now. Just actually faster. Let's warp in there, pull back, slow it down again actually. Let's move in. Tanks right here, a lot of them just generally being useless for a second, and then Immortal actually does come in a minute. Immortal will drop right in the middle, take out a number of them, at least 5, while up in the front. TvZ moved forward and actually takes all the Hellbats. It was a good con game for him there, but all the splash damage actually worked against him for a bit there. And these things, he got shelled from the center and was taken out from the pushy inside. That's generally where the heart of a Terran can be. If you can get into the center of their army, a mech army like that, and then it's all splash damage based. That's really what all Terran mech is. The siege has splash, the what's it called, the Hellbats have an AoE that will affect everything it hits. So it's a really fantastic idea to, if you're in a position like TvZ was, to just try and get in the center of it, so they will go and they will destroy themselves with their own power. We've seen tricks like that before, drop in on top of tanks, but that was a really beautiful way it was done. He saw I can't engage directly like that, so we need to distract them for a second, get them to hurt themselves, hit himself in the knee, and then just move in from the front, and that's exactly what he did. And he pulled it off pretty marvelously, actually. I enjoyed watching that a bit. That was a really nice play from him. And something to take a look at for the WCS, as new builds are coming out to counter the meta, and I always enjoy seeing that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed making it for you. If you like, you can subscribe to me here on YouTube. You can also follow me at GreenSue on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitch, where I do a live show on League of Legends, and sometimes we'll also talk about StarCraft things and scene for esports. It's a lot of fun. That's at twitch.tv/GreenSue there. So again, thanks for watching. You should come back next time.